Hi, I'm Kevin, and it's my personal goal to become an independent artist. I do understand that a lot of times there's not a whole lot of money making opportunities there, but I've chosen it nonetheless. And it's always, at this point, it's kind of a secondary career. I have a GI Bill that I'm currently using, so I'm really just kind of playing on that and doing something that I thought would be, fun to do, something that I've been passionate about for a long time. So when I go into the strategies for finding your life's task. I'm going to go in order, starting with the first one, which is the primal inclination strategy. And what that really means to me, and what I really got from it, was that sometimes you're just born to do something. If you're born to do it, it's a calling that's so loud that it's just so in your head that you really can't ignore it. And Einstein, when you're speaking from the text, Einstein actually felt that when he had felt that captivation with the compass needle. I've kind of felt the same thing with being drawn to music in that sense, which I'll touch on that in just a moment when I go into my personal story. To go with the Darwinian strategy, I found that to be speak to me in the way that it kind of says you're just kind of by chance finding that perfect niche in your career field. I mean, this the characters from the text. I mean, they kind of went a long time. So one went through their whole life, just not being satisfied. Went to Cambridge and everything, just was never satisfied, and then eventually just found a certain little niche within that field, and just really just took off with it and made it his own. The next one up is the rebellion strategy, which that kind of said to me is just refusing to take no as an answer. Speaking about Mozart from the text, his dad wanted him to do a more of a kind of an easier path to make it for the family and help support the family, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to compose, and it was just his passion to compose. And his father basically gave him an ultimatum and said, you're not going to be in the family anymore. And he just left, and he just continued to drive towards his calling, and it made him one of the most famous composers of all time, and he's actually absolutely phenomenal. Next is the adaptation strategy. And what I took from that I mean, you're just finding a way to take what you've learned and using it to your advantage. I mean, you may not be good at what you're passionate about, but you know the material, you know your field, and you know that you can create new opportunities and open new doors that you may never have thought of, and that may take time too, but it's still possible. And speaking on that, Freddie Roach was, he never he was kind of he was sour with boxing. He didn't want to do it anymore. It always kind of left a bad taste in his mouth, and then eventually he had, his knowledge of the field, it helped him to become an awesome trainer. So I think that kind of speaks volumes to anyone that really reads that story. The last one up is the life or death strategy, which take that as kind of, don't deviate from your natural path. Stay true to yourself and your inclinations. Following your heart will always ultimately lead you to success. So it may take a while. You're going to get there eventually if you just have that drive and that want to do it, and you just keep going with it. Um, One of the one strategy that I really want to coincide with my turning point story is a primal inclination strategy. I remember when I was young, I was riding in the car with my uncle, and he was like, "Hey man, you want to listen to something cool?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he put on some Metallica, and it was the Black Album. And it was just from that point I was just captivated by it, and I just had to have it. I had to be able to make those sounds, and it just drew me in from that point on. And I even to this day, I still can't let go of it, and it still just brings a tingle down my spine. My two personal career goals that I can achieve. I can go ahead and start, continue writing songs. I'm actually about to finish another one and put that towards the release of my album that I plan on doing next year. So that's one. Two would be to start just going out and scouting bands, to kind of start going forth with the idea of creating a record label. So that is that. Thank you very much.